بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد وكان من خبري حين تخلفت عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في غزوة تبوك أني لم أكن قط أقوى ولا أيسر مني حين تخلفت عنه في تلك الغزوة والله ما جمعت قبلها راحلتين قط حتى جمعتهما في تلك الغزوة فغزاها رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في حر شديد واستقبل سفرا بعيدا ومفازا واستقبل عدوا كثيرا إلى آخر الحديث أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب زدني علما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى ال محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وصل على المؤمنين والمؤمنات المسلمين والمسلمات حسبنا الله لا اله الا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم حسبنا الله لا اله الا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم حسبنا الله لا اله الا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم رضينا بالله ربا وبالاسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا. Ka'b bin Malik radiallahu anhu, he narrates that the story of remaining behind Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the occasion of Battle of Tabuk. In this ghazwa, in this expedition, he was healthy, wealthy, he had all the means available. Compared to the other ghazwa, he was more healthy and more wealthy at this moment. فغزاها رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he set out for this expedition في حر شديد, in an extreme hot season, and the journey was very long, very far, 200-300 miles out, and also the land was such that was without water or less water, and the enemy that they were going to face was a large enemy. Through this we learn and we understand the mujahada, the sacrifice of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and also his companions radiallahu anhu ajma'in. Their mujahada, their sacrifice, leaving Madinatul Munawwara, leaving the blessed city of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam for the sake of deen, so that the deen and his kalima can reach all four corners of the world till the day of judgment. We make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept their mujahada, to accept their sacrifice, and to accept their struggle. Now this struggle and this mujahada, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He appreciates and He takes that into consideration. This is the system of Allah, that man jadda wajada, that whosoever struggles, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him. We will see in this world as well, people with faith, people without faith, Muslims, non-Muslims. When you do mujahada behind something, when you sacrifice, when you struggle, even if it's for the sake of this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant that person the world. Many people who don't have iman, they sacrifice their sleep, they sacrifice their friends, they sacrifice their food for example, the purpose of business, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives it to them. We have many other examples that we can give. So this is the system of Allah, that whoever does mujahada, he will see the fruits of his mujahada and his sacrifice in this world. The mujahada and the struggle that we need to do is for our akhirat, is for our hereafter, for the eternal life. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He accepts the mujahada for this world and He grants the person whatever he is aiming for, then when we do the mujahada for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for our deen, for our akhirat, for our hereafter, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will also give the fruits and the benefits, and we will see the results of that as well. We can bring many examples and many stories regarding this. One of the live example is the elders and the akabir from India, Pakistan and Bangladesh. Just yesterday, one of our sati was saying that despite their old age and despite their ill health, they're traveling around just for the sake of the deen. They're here for seven days, from Lancashire to Scotland to Yorkshire, West Midlands and East Midlands and London. For 7 days, 24 hours, they're trying to spend in each location, just for the sake of the deen. And the beauty of doing mujahada for the sake of the deen, especially taking time out for 3 days, 10 days, 40 days, 4 months. The beauty in that is that there's two things we sacrifice. One is time, our own personal time. And number two is our own personal wealth. When a person purchases an item and he has paid for that item, he values that item. When something is given free of charge, the value of that item is not there. He doesn't take care of the item. But when a person struggles and he has to pay for something, he will take care of it. Somebody gave an example that a person, he received a scarf that we have, expensive one, very expensive scarf in inheritance. For example, a couple of £100. And he was wearing shoes which is worth £50. It was raining, it was muddy, he was walking outside, he reached somewhere in a dry place. He picked the shoes up, and with the scarf, he's cleaning the shoes. The scarf is worth £500, £600. The shoes is worth only £50. Common sense says that you take care of the scarf because that's more valuable. The shoes is only worth £50. You can change it. But because he paid for that £50 himself from his own pocket money, and the shawl, which is worth a couple of £100, which was given to him in inheritance free of charge, he doesn't have the value of the scarf, the shoes. So when you do mujahada, when you sacrifice time, when you sacrifice your own personal wealth, then you do ahmiyat of that, and you have more importance of that. Mawlana Ilyas rahmatullahi alayhi, from the beginning, the fikr that he had, this fikr for this deen, the struggle for this deen was such that at night his wife would say that he would just roam around the room, from here and there, here and there, here and there, here and there. So she would ask him that, what is wrong, what's happened? So he would mention the fikr of the halat and the condition of the Muslims. This fikr, if we don't have, then they will leave Islam. So he had this fikr on him. Because of this fikr, because of this struggle, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took so much work from him. Mawlana Manzoor Nu'mani rahmatullahi alayhi says that sometimes it would happen that he would do, in a day, 24 miles just on foot, just for the sake of the deen, walking. And sometimes he says that there has been several occasions where either Thursday night or Friday morning in Nizamuddin Markaz, he has something to eat and he's gone. 2 days, 3 days, and for 2-3 days, he had nothing to eat, and when he come back to Nizamuddin, that's when he ate. For 2-3 days, nothing to eat, just for the sake of the deen. He's out in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The worry and the concern is there for the ummah, that how can their iman be protected? How can they be connected to the deen and connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And even in his old age as well. Even in his old age, anybody would come, just would take that opportunity to give da'wat and give a reminder. When he was old, there's a famous doctor, Dr. Shaukat Ali, Shaukatullah Ansari rahmatullahi alayhi. He was a very famous doctor at that time. So he knew that this doctor is going to be coming. So he told his khadims that when the doctor sahab comes, make him sit in a place in an angle where I can see him, because I want to give him some da'wat before he examines me and he treats me. So when Dr. Sahab came with other sati, Dr. Shaukatullah Ansari rahmatullahi alayhi, he came with a couple of satis and he sat down. So here he took that opportunity and he's giving him da'wat about the field that he is in. And he says that this field that you're in, Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam was given that as a miracle. It was his miracle that he would bring dead to life and cure those people at that time there was no cure for. So this science that we have, it was a miracle of Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. However, our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, this spirituality that has been given, that's more greater than that. The deen and the deen that he has come with, we have more, that has more virtue over Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam's deen, and he has more virtue over the miracle of Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. Therefore, what we need to do is that we need to take benefit from the spiritual bounties of our deen, of our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, through this work of da'wat and tabligh. Otherwise, we're going to be at a great loss. Now, after this treatment and examine whatever happened, when the doctor sahab was leaving, and they were about to go, the doctor with a couple of doctors that were there together, they started talking something in English. So the Mufti Kifayatullah rahmatullah alayhi was also present. So he asked that, what were we talking about? So the doctor sahab said that we just can't comprehend and understand that this person there, he has no strength and nothing left inside in him. How is he managing to speak to us? There was no energy, nothing left inside this person. But he's talking to us with, he has the energy and the strength. We just can't comprehend that how he's getting this ability and the strength to speak. So the point is that when we do struggle for the deen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will also, give us the benefit of the struggle that we will also do. Once some of his relatives came to him, so he asked that, from why have you come here to see me? So the relative said, I don't know, you just wanted to see how healthy and how your health was and how your well-being was. So the Mawlana Ilyas rahmatullah alayhi, he replied and he said that, look, you would travel all the way from Kandla to see me just to see my health. This health is going to finish. When I pass away, it's going to disappear. But you do not make any inquiries about the well-being of the deen of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You do not make any inquiries and question about the well-being of the deen of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, which is going to remain till the Day of Judgment. Which is the Day of Judgment. But this is gradually perishing and leaving the lives of the Muslims. So this is the fikr that Mawlana Ilyas rahmatullah alayhi had. Because of the fikr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the work of da'wah spread all around the world. Mufti Tariq Masood, in one of his speeches, he says, one of his recent bayan, I think it was, actually in one of his speeches some time ago, he says that, if you were to look at the ijtima that takes place, Pakistan, Bangladesh, England, wherever, imagine if all of these ijtima was to take place in one place at one time only. After the gathering of Hajj, this is the largest gathering that we may have, and we will have. But one person had that fikr, and the barakat of this is so, great all around the world. People all around the world are benefiting from this fikr. So what we need to have is struggle. Like when, as you mentioned in the hadith, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, they went out in this expedition which was around 2 months. Can you imagine the heat of Madinatul Munawwara, the heat of Saudi, how hot he was. But for 2 months they struggled and traveled in this journey. So like this, when we do mujahada, when we struggle, at the same time we have the correct fikr and we have the correct niyat, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us the benefit of that, the work and the effort that we're doing. And not only that, people after us will also benefit. One of our Ustad Hadamar Junaid from Preston, in Bukhari Jalsa on Saturday in Kidderminster, he mentioned that we see that many of our idara, many of our institutes, there's many Bengali students there. So some people say there's so many Bengali students have come now. So Maulana Junaid Sahab said, this is the fruit of Maulana Madani rahmatullahi alayhi. He migrated to Bangladesh and Calcutta, and he did migration, and the effort that he did there, because of being in Bangladesh and because of the effort that he did, mujahada he did, the generations down are benefiting from this effort. Because he says that it's possibly because of that mujahada he did, the people of Bangladesh are also benefiting from this mujahada. So what we understand from this is that when we struggle, we will benefit. Children, grandchildren, our progeny will also benefit. When we have the fikr, then inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect our iman, will also protect the iman of our children and also the grandchildren. So we should have this mujahada. We've got 40 days, the summer holidays are going to be starting. Whatever is possible for us, 3 days, 10 days, 40 days, whatever is possible, a person should take that time out. 3 days, 10 days and 40 days itself, some people say that where have we took this out from? 40 days, Maulana Makki Damat Barakatum in Makkatul Mukarramah, he gives durus. In one of his dars, he says that these 40 days that we have, the ulama have not just pulled that out of from nowhere. He says that Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, فَتَمَّ مِيقَاتُ رَبِّي 40 لَيْلَةً. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him to do till then. He told him to stay for 40 days in Dawah. He could have told him to stay for 30 and complete, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala extended his 10 days and he remained for 40 days. Like this, he says that ثُمَّ خَلَقْنَا النُّطْفَةَ عَلَقَةً. When the fetus inside the womb, the scholars explain and the science also approves is that every 40 days there's a change in the fetus. So that means that when you do something for 40 days, there's changes in your life. Then he also say that Madinatul Munawwara, a person who prays his 40 salah with the takbir ula, he will gain benefit. There's a hadith on this that you'll be given the salvation from the Jahannam and also from nifaq. Like this, we have 40. At the age of 40, many of the prophets that received the prophethood when they were 40 years or plus. Like this, we also have a few other examples he gave as well, that 40 has barakat in it. Yes, it's not only to 40, but the 40 itself has barakat. So it's not that we've taken out from nowhere, there's nothing behind it. There is something behind it. The ulama have many dalail and the proofs for implementing these points that we have. So 3 days, 10 days, 40 days, whatever we have. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the tawfiq and the ability to struggle for the deen according to our ability as well, according to our capacity and according to our energy. Man jadda wajada, those who struggle, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the chance and the opportunity to struggle for His deen, ourselves, our family members, our children, our progeny. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept them for the work of this deen in all aspects. Da'wat hai, tabligh hai. Pir Maulana Talha rahmatullahi alayhi, the Shaykh rahmatullahi alayhi's son, several years ago when he came and he was doing a tour around UK, he highlighted da'wat, tabligh and tazkiyah. All these three, they're all part of our deen. They all work together. Target, everything is the same. You in ta'aleem or you in tabligh or in da'wat, in tabligh or ta'aleem or tazkiyah. So tabligh, ta'aleem and tazkiyah. So tabligh hai da'wat, ta'aleem, idara we have, and tazkiyah we have the khanqa. So the purpose of all three is the same. So together we work and we'll benefit and the community and the ummah will also benefit. Inshallah, we'll continue this hadith next week. Inshallah, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our gathering. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the ability to strive for His deen as well with ikhlas. Allahumma ameen. Subhanallah bihamdi. Subhanakallah bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati ma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahim.